Coach Vitello.
Tony, just how terrific was Dolander tonight? Did you see anything different, or was it just business as usual?
He was better than he was last week, which is hard to do. You're in Oxford, tough place to play, and Mississippi's lineup, in particular when they're healthy, I know they were kind of missing a guy or two when we faced them, but still dangerous. But then you get to this lineup, and if you look at this lineup, just right, left, switch, speed, power. If you look at the split stats, I mean, they're about as balanced of a lineup as you're going to face. So, in our best, dreams or whatever, I don't know that you're going to see an outing like that out of any of our guys. But I mean, he put it together, and no disrespect to Frank calling pitches, but he kind of made it light work for us in the dugout.
How impressive was his response after those 2 home runs?
I think, basically you're asking the question because it was great. The 0-2 pitch is probably the one pitch of the game he hates. The rest is, that guy in the 3-hole is a monster. If it's possible to be as big as our 3-hole hitter, I think that guy's, in a different way, the same size. So I didn't even think he got it that good off the bat, but it shows you how strong and talented he is. So really, I think if he could just take away that one pitch. So while it's impressive he bounced back, I think he kind of knew he was in control and he was doing what he needed to do, throwing winning pitches.
Why did you choose to go with him for the 9th? What did you see in the 8th that let you keep going with him?
Well, it's a catch-22, and we don't know the answer until you run the guy out there, or maybe he could have wiggled out of that thing, but he finished the inning in such emphatic fashion, we probably should have let his day be done. But at the same time, you got the catcher running in the dugout, and I'm seeing with my eyes, this guy's still rocking and rolling pretty good. And, sometimes it doesn't hurt to ask what Vanderbilt's thinking over there. I'm sure they were wanting him to be taken out of the game. At least I would be if I was in their shoes because of the manner in which he was throwing the ball. But that's a tough one. And to be honest with you, we were going to go to Redmond probably the top of the order regardless. But we let him go face Young. It's a one-pitch battle, and he kind of, I guess he would regret 2 pitches. He kind of didn't let that last one go. But I think we can give him a mulligan there because he threw about 98 pitches with conviction, and they all had stuff to them that would be tough for minor league teams to hit.
Is there something that stands out to you about Dolander and Burns? Obviously, they never faced SEC lineups before this year, and they seem to have aced all the tests that they've had to this point.
Yeah, I think there's been a gradual buildup for Doe. First of all, he has last year's experience to rely on. He pitched against SEC teams last year, maybe not within the league, but you got an opening day or second day of the year against your former school. You got a Minute Maid deal. Fortunately, we got to open at home for once this year. So I don't want to say baby steps because that would be discrediting how good he's been. But it's kind of come along, and he seems to be improving each week. And I think to try and replicate this outing time in and time out again is a waste of energy for everybody. But to keep improving in a bunch of little different areas is something he's been doing. I look forward to him keep doing it until we don't have him anymore, which it won't be after next year.
How good did you imagine he could be when you saw what he did at Georgia Southern last year? And is this what you envisioned him turning into when you brought him in?
Yeah, we thought he was pretty dang good. We liked our team last year. We weren't swinging the bat exceptionally well at the very beginning of the year, but he absolutely undressed our guys for a short amount of time. I believe he went 5. And again, you're at the beginning of the year. Your pitch count's not built up to go as long as he did tonight, but you kind of saw it coming. And then you figure out how good of a kid he is and also how the off-speed's kind of developed. Now you start to get, some exciting things there. And he's improved in a lot of little stuff like fielding his position and things like that.
Tony, I guess every SEC game is the same on paper, but to come here and win a series, how much do you think that means to the guys?
I think it means a lot. It's a divisional opponent. Obviously there's some familiarity with some of the roster. In particular, some of our guys that grew up in this area know the school real well. But the goal of each weekend is to try and win the series. And if you win on Friday, you obviously improve your chances of doing that. They were able to do it tonight. So, and I wish I could be in their shoes. I think anytime you win a game in this league, it's pretty special. And I honestly haven't seen a lot of variance between the first game against South Carolina, or you could pick any of the other ones. It's been a pretty steady Eddie approach. Sometimes we perform better, sometimes we don't, but they've been impressive in that manner.
What about big picture? First time Tennessee's won here since 2009. Just how nice is it to say that you all are on an equal footing with those guys after the 20 years that Coach Corbin's put together?
Well, the 20 years versus those 20 years have been pretty dang good. So, I think you got to put it into perspective. If we're gonna pull out swords and go up against every team in the league, including the school I came from. I mean, an actual sword. If you're going to compare, we ain't going to win that battle. But it's here now. So fortunately today we were the better team, and then tomorrow it's a new day. You can call it the third game of the series. You can call it whatever you want. Sunday. I don't even know what time the game starts tomorrow, but it's one game tomorrow. So you find out who's better on that given day. And again, it feels good to win this series. But I think that other stuff is kind of for you guys to write about.
Two more. How pleased were you with the defense tonight after a couple shaky few games?
It was great. I mean, the play Trey made was awesome. And then I didn't know that you could turn a double play on that guy, to be honest with you. I didn't know it was humanly possible. So I thought they did really well. In particular, not bringing at-bats out into the field. I mean, you saw some guys. I mean, Drew and Jordan had about as good of a chance as catching those home runs. I mean, nobody could have done it because they were hit far enough, but they seemed locked in on defense. And when they are focused, it's probably one of the better strengths of our team.
Any more? All right, thanks, Tony.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.